line that's purported to have been said by Ramana Maharshi, which I really, 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 really like. I think it really simplifies everything. And he says, to know God is to be God. Yeah? To know God, what we would call knowing something, in the case of, if you want to use the term God or consciousness or awareness, to know God, consciousness or awareness is to be God, consciousness or awareness. Because you can't know awareness. You know? We're not in a position to have that experience. So to know, quote unquote, God or awareness is to be it. I think that's so incredibly clear and quick, yeah? We really, because in the selfing, that's what I like to call the process in the head, yes? The selfing, like K-Paul, like a radio station going on and on all day. In that process, to know God would be to become a knower of God. Yeah? To know being wouldn't be being, it would be to know being, to become a knower of being. Yeah? To know love would become a knower of love. Yeah? There would still be you as the separate something that knew that love or that being or that truth or that oneness. But he's cutting that right off by saying to know God is to be God. Yeah? So incredibly cool. It cuts out, because as soon as my head claims the beingness as something I can know, then I become a knower of beingness, yes? That's just an incredible, it's like they say in that Zen treatise we were going over yesterday, that creates the distance between heaven and hell, yeah? Suddenly, this incredible thing gets separated. And now it becomes an object to you as the subject. Being, love, satsang, enlightenment, whatever it may be, yeah? You're now a knower of truth instead of being the truth. Yeah? If you are a knower of truth, you will become an unknower of truth. It has to go that way. Because the sense of knowing and not knowing are dualistic, yeah? They're complementary and antagonistic. So if I believe I've achieved something, I'm going to also believe I can lose it. Yeah? If I believe I had something to do with something, then I can have something to do with that something not being something, you know? As soon as I take that one role, or it's not even taking it, it's just a habit of mine. As soon as I'm in the position of being the subject and everything is cast into being an object, I've lost it. Yeah? Maybe I didn't lose a topic, let's say like history, but I've lost a topic of, let's say, truth or spirit or awareness. Yeah? Because we are that. So we can't have the space to know it. Yeah? We could not be in that space. We could not be on this side of the space to know that. We're too close to it. Yeah? We're so close we can't know it. And that's the dilemma in a way. Because our mental condition, that mental process called selfing, its way of being is to know. Yeah? Its way of being is to do and have itself into that state. Yeah? So in a lot of cases, people are trying to do and have themselves into a state that they call a state of being. Yeah? But maybe it's only conditionally being. So maybe it will last for a weekend or a day, or you go on a retreat. And so somehow there's a sense that, hey, I'm truly connected. I'm truly myself. I'm truly in that thing of being. But then you go to work and now you're out of that state of being. Yeah? As long as I'm the subject that's in relationship to that object, which is not one, being and truth and stuff like that, I'm actually predicating its quality. Its quality isn't overwhelming my ideas are framing it. Yeah? Like in recovery, we have a thing that it says, I'm from, recovery, whatever. It has this thing to make it easier for people to entertain the possibility of something different. It says, you're going to turn your will and your life over to the care of power greater than yourself of your own understanding. Yeah. Now, after years of being AA, I realized the last thing I want is to have a relationship or be under the care of a power based on my own understanding of that power. Because it's going to treat me just like the other power used to treat me, probably. Because I'll be playing God with the idea of God, yeah? But what would happen in that statement, which is, all right, I turn my will and my life over to the care of a power of its own understanding. What would happen then? If I turn my will and my life over to the care of a power of its own understanding, then I'd be in a position of I don't know, yes? And then I would be in a position to find out, which to me is a much stronger form of knowledge, to find out than to know, yes? In a sense, what happens here is when you hear enough about what you're not, you find out you're not that, and that's the sense of being that, which you cannot know, yeah? That's, to me, is like the backdoor way. I find out about what I'm not, and in the knowledge of what I'm not that, it doesn't turn and say, okay, what am I? That's what I am. I am the seeing, in a sense, of what I'm not. And it really seems ridiculous to try to know something that you are after a while. It does. Yeah? It just seems like it just seems ridiculous. Because the fact is you are that. And it becomes obvious as you live from there. Instead of living from the point of what you're not, trying to know what you are, just see that you're not that, and that's what you are. You're never going to get the mental joy of knowing it, but you'll get the real joy of being it. Yeah? And that joy for me translates in a long level of time as traveling lighter. And I believe that's what most people are really looking for. They can give it the name of enlightenment or awakening, but if they felt really satisfied, they would give a shit about the name of enlightenment. Yeah? Because they'd be feeling fine. They'd be traveling lighter. They would lose interest in themselves greatly, and they gain interest in other things and hopefully no thing. Yeah? Their attention and interest would be relieved from that bondage of the idea of being a someone, and maybe they discover by their attention the no one. Yeah? I don't know, it's worked like that for me. Yeah? I wasn't doing well when people were describing the beauty of the truth. It wasn't working for me. It actually made me feel bad because I felt less and less, farther and farther away from that truth. I didn't seem to have any of those qualities, and I wasn't experiencing them constantly. So it didn't work for me when they talked about the blissful ocean and you are that and you are always loved, because my daily experience didn't verify that. Yeah, but when they said you may not be that, that worked for me. Yeah, you may not be that which is thinking it should be the ocean of love. You know what I mean? Not that it is the ocean, it should be the ocean of love. Maybe you're not that which is worrying about next week. Maybe you're not that has this incredible opinion about things, yeah? What's giving the opinion the meaning? Not the opinion itself, but who has the opinion, yeah? So I went that way, and that way seemed to work for me. When I kept seeing what was happening, like everything that was occurring in my life, be it a relationship, be it simply this bottle, when this bottle was seen, it was seen in a certain way that gave it another agenda, another job, which was to point at me by the word my bottle. As soon as it was my bottle, it indicated or inferred there was an owner or someone who had it, yeah? And then all the thoughts held as my thought. Each thought now is being used to point to the phantom, yeah? To point to that phantom subject. And all it needed after a while was the pointing. Just like they say in Zen, there's the finger pointing at the moon. It's not the moon. Well, my whole mental process of selfing is pointing at a phantom. Yeah, I take the phantom to be real by believing the inference, by believing the assumption, by believing, yes, the implying. I take it from there. All it does is claim activities, thinking and feeling as my feeling, my thoughts, my girlfriend, my job, my life, my this, my that. And all it needs with that is that claiming of the my, and then everything is used to point back at the one who has it. But I never fucking see the one who has it. My investigation stops right there. I just buy the pointing. Yeah? My mind goes, oh, yes. But when I ask it, I go, who am I? No one shows up. So I would say this phantom or this appearance is produced by the mental process claiming conscious contact here. That's how I see it. I don't see that there was a date or a time you were bonded to the idea of being a self, but it's a constant application, like a glue, that the mental process applies all day. Yes? By what? By claiming activities brought about by conscious contact. Seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, and seeing thoughts. Yes? And actions. So an action happens, it's my action. Immediately that action is used to point back to me. Thoughts, my thoughts, point back to me. Feelings, my feelings. Problems, my problems. Yeah? If you look at, you have 40 problems in 1 week, but there's only one who has the problems. Yeah? Which is the bigger problem? The 40 problems you have or the one who has them? I would say look at the one who has them. There may be much more relief there than trying to learn skillful means to deal with all the problems, because what's begetting all the problems could be the one who has the problems. Yeah? Maybe. Just check it out. Find out. See. Yeah. For me, I did. I looked into it. I entertained the possibilities. And then what it revealed to me was what incredible impossibilities I had been entertaining. That I'm a long-lasting, independent, separate entity. That I could be somewhere else other than where I am. That I needed to get into the moment I can't be out of. And then I got to get out of something I can't be in. I mean, it was just seeing blue is blue and red is red again. It's as obvious as the fucking thing in front of your face. You know? Really, really. I mean, look at it. Do you believe you can be more in the moment than you are now? Do you? Is there a feeling that there's too little of you in this moment? You can really be in this moment much better, right? Come on, look at it. How much movement have you ever been out of a moment of your own life? Have you? I mean, you and the moment are synonymous. Without this, there ain't no moment. So why would I want to work hard? Or what they do, the books tell you, they say, all right, how to be into the moment. So you buy the first book. Then they have the second edition, how to really be in the moment. And then the third edition, how to really, really be in the moment. I bet you not one of us have read one of those books all the way through. I bet you. If you read a few chapters and I want to jump to the third one, how to really, really, really to be in the moment. Yeah? If you were busy trying to get into the moment, what would that imply? What would you be stating as a fact every time you tried to get more into the moment? Wouldn't it apply that you believe that you can be out of the moment? I would say that's the dilemma, the belief that you can be out of the moment, not that you're not in the moment. Yeah? The same thing with all the drives to try to get out of self. Why is it that I'm trying to get out of self all day? Because I inherently believe I'm in it. I'm actually so in it, I'm identified as it. Yeah? What would happen if I entertained, hey, I may not be that? I would see the best way, right, to be out of anything is to realize you weren't in it. It's the best way. It takes absolutely no time to be out of what you're not in. And it takes no time to be in what you can't be out of. Just makes it so fucking simple. Yeah? Take all the embellished words around it, and basically we have a desire, right or wrong, it doesn't matter, let's say an inclination to travel lighter, because we're very much feeling like we're traveling heavy. Yeah? Now, what's causing the heaviness? I would say simply the mind. The activity of claiming what's not ours. Yeah. So when conscious contact's happening, if it would say it was your contact, it would be called Paul's contact. But it says conscious contact. Yeah? So I would say consciousness is in contact. It's in contact through this. Yeah? But it's not in contact as this. It's like that telescope. The telescope facilitates the scientists to see the stars. It makes the stars seem closer. Yeah? It really literally doesn't. If you were looking outside, the stars aren't getting closer to this telescope, but it allows the scientist to see the stars closer, yeah? Now when the scientist walks away, is the telescope seeing the stars? or does the telescope facilitate seeing the stars? Yeah? If the telescope starts believing it's seeing the stars, what stars are it going to see? The stars that were brought to it by the scientists seeing it. It will always see from the past, yeah? It will always be seeing a past starlit night. It will never be able to conjure up a new one, yeah? Everything that arises will be referred back to that. See, I'm seeing a new star, I'm seeing, but it's the same old, because what injects the livingness of this place is consciousness, yeah? What interprets that livingness to death to me is mental. It's a mental process. The mental process claims the conscious contact and makes it into something else. It makes it into a story about you and me as being the one who's conscious. Yeah? It makes a pseudo-subject up and then tells stories about that subject, all riding on the back of conscious contact. Without the conscious contact, you never even see a thought in your head. Yeah? And yet how much attention or interest is given to the consciousness, and how much attention and interest is given to the mental idea of being Paul. How much attention is given to the seeing, and how much emphasis is given to the seer and the seen. How much attention is given to the hearing, and how much attention is given to the hearer and the heard. Yeah? See it. You see it every day. It's revealing, the whole thing reveals itself every day. Because what we're not is a process that can be seen, and what we are is the seeing of that